Mic check. Can I get a yurt?
You're
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I am your host, the only Kayla, and today I have Dominican Latin trap artist with me, Messia. Messia, what is going on? How are you feeling?
oh man, I feel great. I'm chilling, man. Everything going on in my career right now, my music feels good. Feels good to be back.
So it's funny because I remember you from back in the day. So I'm from New York. I
Okay,
recently moved to Atlanta, but I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx.
nice.
And I mean, back in the
El
day, like
Bron.
when you were managed by DJ Flipstar, Tamo Lindo days, I'm talking 2015. And I
Uh-huh.
remember at the time going to the club with my friends and hearing your record and even seeing you perform live back then. So, it's crazy to see how far you've come. How does it feel for
Hmm.
you if you look back right now in that moment? If you go back to like 2015, how do you feel to be here today and seeing how your career has really flourished?
Oh yeah, man. It's been a long way coming. I want to shout out DJ Flipstar. He was never my manager. He was just, we just did a mixtape. That's what really got me to take off. That song went viral. That whole project went viral. Ese fue el DJ que se apechó, como digamos nosotros los dominicanos, con mi proyecto y gracias a él todos los otros DJ comenzaron a copiar el proyecto. Como we did drops, we did not even drops, we did dubs. There was this one part that said, con DJ Flipstar, Loma Duro, and we took that part and we did a dub for like every single DJ in the city, every other DJ from anywhere else who will be like, yo, I want that same dub that you did for Flipstar. So I want to thank him. Also Yo Yai's Music, who was my management company at the time. We did a lot of great stuff. We got a lot of things accomplished. And man, just being where I'm at now, everything that I went through in the quarantine. I don't know if you've seen my documentary. I don't know if you've seen the interview that I did with Nicky Jam. I really touched base on a lot of things, a lot of hardships that I was going through, economic problems, me having to give in my apartment, go back to my sister's house. It was some very crucial moments at a moment. I even thought como que yo me iba a quitar de la música,
Mhm.
that I was not gonna pursue this no more. I felt I had like 3 years not connecting with my fans. Everything that I was dropping was just not going, as I would want it to go. And I guess it was just me being in a dark space, me just being, just frustrated at the world, just mad about everything. And I feel as soon as I came out here to Miami, I've been out here for the past 10 months. I lost 40 pounds. I play basketball every day. I go to the gym. When people see me now, people are like, damn, bro, you look good, bro. Se te ve la vibra, se te ve.
Mhm.
And that actually motivates you to keep in that same path. I guess, in New York, I was just such in a sunken place because not only was I feeling bad already, but like when people see you, it gets you mad because it's the truth, and
Mhm.
you're not doing anything to change it. So you just get even more frustrated. Now you just want to, talk back to your fans. Yo, what's going on? Yo, you fat? Yo, man, whatever. You just
Yeah.
say the wrong thing. And that was just a fan who was actually, he's just happy to see you, but he's seeing you and you're fat. So maybe the first thing that comes to your mind is just him calling you out on that. But I guess I could just say, man, to just in a nutshell, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for going through all of that, because that has led to everything that's going on in my career right now. I'm doing great independently. I have so many doors that are opening, so many business opportunities that are being presented to me right now, and I can honestly say that I feel like they're just happening because I'm in a great space in my life. Now I can sit back and not just be so short fused with everything. Just take deep breaths and make the best decision, not in a hot mind, or just because you know what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
it feels good. It feels good to be where I'm at now.
That's good. And I'm glad to hear that life has changed for you. And I'm also glad you cleared that up because from
Tremendously.
the outside looking in, I'm sure a lot of people also thought that DJ Flipstar managed you or founded you. So I'm glad you were able to clear that up
No,
and that you guys kind of
yeah,
just
no,
collaborated on a project together that went viral.
yes,
But
yeah,
I do
yeah.
want to but I do want to talk about, like you mentioned, your documentary for your fans out there, for people who may have not seen it. I do
Hmm.
want to talk about some of the struggles you faced during the pandemic. To see how you got out of that is amazing. So tell a little bit about your story and what happened.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends too that the pandemic did great things for them, but they were already doing good things
Mm-hmm.
before the pandemic. So I was already, I was effed up, as much as you could think before the pandemic. So the pandemic didn't bring, if I was not getting booked, if you're, doing good, getting booked before the pandemic, when the pandemic hits, anybody, yo, you know what? I don't care. I'll pay double if I have a feature from you. People were not paying for me for
Mm-hmm.
features. People were not paying. I was just going through a transition of a new management. The music that I was dropping was not the music that people wanted to hear from me. They was already used to hearing Latin trap, hearing reggaeton. I started doing like very crossover music when I did an Anglo deal with Atlantic Records. Uh, so I guess when the pandemic hit, people were already like undecisive of what I was doing or undecisive of what was going to be next for Messia. So I guess, when the pandemic came, it was like, all right, like let's see if Messia is going to be one of the people who are going to submerge from this. And I actually did. You know what? I went through it, but just having the warrior mentality that I always had, but just not giving up. I guess, coming to Miami, God putting Nicky Jam in my destiny to do what he did with me. But yeah, man, it was hard. So I guess, damn, I'm sorry. I guess just being in such a a, a sunken place just helped me, really be able to see like, is this what I want for myself? If this is, am I gonna let this, overcome me? And me puse pa lo mío. But I guess if you're just already doing good in the pandemic, you're already getting your little shows, you're getting your feature money. Somebody hits you up for feature money. You're gonna tell them, oh, so van a hacer tanto. I can't leave my house. It's because of the pandemic. You have the cotorra to give, you have that excuse to give, and it worked for a lot of people. But in my case, it was like, oh, it's such and such. Like, Messia, come on, man, you wasn't getting booked regardless, bro. Here, we're gonna send you this, we're gonna send you that, and at that moment, you gotta take whatever. Yo estaba en esa, and I said it, yo gracias a Dios no tuve la vergüenza de decirlo. Si yo no tuve la vergüenza de hablar de eso en el momento donde sí me estaba afectando, sí, I was in a bad position, thanks God, this is like my third single in the time that I've been, we dropped Millonario, we dropped the remix, Bahamas, and we're working on a Bahamas remix that's going to be a very nice one. So I'm definitely not afraid not to say that yo me vi jodido, yo me vi teniendo que manejar $100 for a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Forget a booking through the whole month before the pandemic. In the pandemic, I was asking my sister to give me some money to go buy weed or give me some money, just to have some money in my pocket. It was to that extent of how, effed up things were for me. So I tell people all the time, like, forget being an artist, forget being a influencer. If you had a job in McDonald's, you were doing better than me, than how I was at a point in my life. You know what I'm saying? And at a point in my life a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So yeah, it was some very rough times. But God is the greatest. I thank God for everything that's going on right now, for the position I'm in. I'm still not in a, como te digo, no estoy en una situación económica como la que yo estaba antes,
Mm-hmm.
pero definitivamente que hay que ser agradecido de todo, hay que ser agradecido que no estoy en la posición donde estaba antes de llegar aquí a Miami y que gracias a Dios todos los días there's a new show that pops up, there's a new opportunity that pops up to keep making my situation, even better. And I guess just you being appreciative of all the little things of just me having my nice little apartment here, my little balcony,
Your
couple months
perritos.
ago, no, like, no, mi perritas son el que me sabe, que todo el mundo que me sigue a mí sabe que, like, those is my life. Mi perritas son, en un momento donde yo no tenía nadie, they were the only one by my side. Mi perrita yo me la llevé conmigo hasta para el apartamento de mi hermana. So yeah, whoever has followed my story, they know que yo no como cuento con mi perrita. But just apart from them, to have this, that we could be here tranquilo, and then people get to see my growth and get to see my story. And coño, mira, ya Mesías se compró su casa, ya Mesías le compró la casa a la mamá que él dijo que le iba a comprar, porque te lo juro que antes de yo comprarme cualquier prenda, cualquier cosa, que ya lo he pensado, lo primero que yo voy a hacer son las cosas que prometí que iba a hacer.
That's good. And I'm glad to hear that you are a living testament of someone who was in a dark place and now we can see that you're obviously in a much better place. I do want to talk about your song Millonario. Um, I know that you did a viral challenge for your fans and allowed some of
Yes.
them to be a part of the record. What was that like for you seeing how receptive your fans were and seeing how many people actually submitted their songs to be a part of your record? I'm sure that felt amazing to see that your fan base, your core fan base was still there.
This one had 800 plus people from all over, kids who were verified, kids who had like a nice following. So honestly, like it even got to a point where it was like emotional for me, you know, like me just sitting there, and I made a promise that I was gonna repost and I still did. I said, whoever I don't post on my main feed, I'm gonna repost everybody on my story. And I'm not gonna lie, for like that 1 week, 2 weeks, and lo estoy diciendo like, like I'm complaining, because I gave my word, and I'm in the business of keeping my word now, because a lot of good people kept their word and they did exactly everything they said they were gonna do for me. So it's only right. But I was not eating right. I was not eating the same. That like messed up my whole routine, because from like the moment I would start, I would post, the best 10 that I will feel like, could go on my feed. And then in the midst of those 10, there'll probably be like 50, 60 a day, 70 a day that I won't put on my feed, and I will have to repost every single one on my story. Y cuando yo terminaba, a veces comenzaba a las 12 del día y terminaba como a las 4 o 5 de la tarde. Y yo no comía, no hacía nada, porque yo decía, okay, si I felt like I would lose the rhythm. I would remember till the last one that I didn't repost. So I feel like, okay, si me siento ahora a comer, ahorita suben tanto video más, and then that kid, I'm not gonna keep my word, and I'm not gonna repost. So it was like I was just so on it. But with that being said, like again, I'm not complaining, because just the fact that so many people did it, you know what I'm saying? Like so many people are actually connected with the song, liked the song, wanted to be a part of the content. It was just not like a contest. I feel like it was like more like a big talent show. Again, I know what it is to be for second time, third time, to be a struggling artist, to be an artist that needs help, an artist that would love que alguien venga y me dé una mano amiga y me diga, Messia, here's my studio. Messia, what do you need? You need positive vibes. You need a team around you, so just that kid who probably never, some kids got to 100,000 views, thousands of comments. I would see kids like they would like post the timeline of like, oh look, it just hit 20,000 views, or that kid probably never had that amount of views, and even just that could be something life changing. Seeing the comments that my fans were leaving them, like, oh, creo que tú vas a ganar, tú eres el mejor. Oh wow, somebody thinks I'm the best, because I'm not gonna lie, when I first started hearing people telling me, oh, you're the best, I'm like, wow, there's actually it could be one person, but there's actually somebody out there in the world that thinks I'm the best artist. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there's that Yankee out there. There's such and such out there. And for you to think I'm the best, so just to hear that word, and just to hear those words of encouragement could do a world in somebody who's in a dark place, in a sunken place, dealing with mental issues. So I guess that was the biggest outcome that I got out of that. Just knowing that, ni que sea por ese minuto, eso, whatever seconds were your video, pero tú tuviste esa plataforma de poder enseñar al mundo tu talento o lo que tú tienes. Even if whoever didn't win or not, that just made me feel good that I was doing that for these kids.
And I think it's amazing because not only did you allow them to be on your official record, but you even included them in your music video.
Yes. Oh, no, no, no. El que ganó, nosotros hicimos, we did a whole compilation de Millonario fan mix.
Mhm.
Ganaron 5. Hicimos un video, es on my YouTube channel. Están ahí, de que tienen ese link para siempre, para yo seguir promocionándolo y mandándoselo a todo el mundo. Y aparte de eso, voy a hacer una canción con Big Bubbling de República Dominicana y con Wainelli de Puerto Rico. She actually just sent me her record last week.
Mm.
So there was like, I believe I picked 5. I picked 10, 10 winners, and it was 5 of them who went on the Millonario fan mix, and there's 2 of them that are gonna write records for me, and there's 3 of them that I gotta do a record with. So there's gonna be 2 and 1. Y uno yo voy a hacer un tema con él solo, que es el de República Dominicana.
Awesome. Shout out to that Boricua because you're so Boricua.
Yeah, okay, yes, sir.
That's good though, because I remember when that record came out and I remember seeing the video and I was surprised because I was like, wow, like these people are really good. Like it sounded really, really
Hmm.
official. Like you would have never thought that you just
Yes,
picked these
yes.
people from a challenge. Like they sounded really good.
Hmm. No, they sounded amazing. Yeah, yeah, and again, that's just testament to all the talent that's out there, all the people with a dream, with the desire, to make something, out the talent, ya sea escribiendo, ya sea cantando, ya sea tocando un instrumento, and you never know what just reposting somebody. Maybe there's a manager that's out there that just started a management company and is looking for artists and sees that artist in my, maybe
Yep.
right now I don't have the means, but or maybe I can do for them what they need, to artist develop them from scratch. Maybe right now I still need a lot of artist development, but maybe somebody who does have all the time in the world and that's exactly what they want to do, could grab them right there and be like, yo, you know what? I seen you through Messiah's challenge. And hey, man, I think you have a lot of talent. And, I want to help you with your career, with whatever that is, So that was my main goal,
Mm-hmm.
just getting them exposure.
And I'm sure a lot came out of that situation for them.
A
I'm
hundred
sure
percent, a hundred
100%.
percent, a
But I do
hundred
also want
percent.
to talk about the same record. You do have a remix with Nicky
Mm-hmm.
Jam and Ozuna. What was that like for you collaborating with those two huge artists and creating one of the dopest remixes out?
As far as that's just it means a lot to me. That record just means a lot to me, just because in Nicky Jam's podcast, I apologize to Osuna. I spoke about the differences that I had with Osuna. Nicky Jam is my brother and somebody who I will respect dearly and just honor forever, for what he did for me. And even before that, I respect him. Nicky Jam has been one of the greats for me, one of my favorites. But that remix, and just Osuna, the way he reached out to me, Osuna reached out to me. Hey, I seen your interview with Nicky Jam. I just want to say, that I apologize to you if I caused anything. I accept your apology, and I also want to apologize to you if anything that I did contributed to what you were going through. And that meant a lot to me. There was just not my growth, but to see his growth and to see that he was on it, and yo, I'm here for you for whatever you need. And he actually reached out to me a couple days later after the song, because I dropped the record Millonario the next day, right after the interview, and the Rockstar show came out with Nicky Jam. So I guess just him listening to my record, and I have good friends that work with Ozuna, like his stylist Brandon. He's a good friend of mine. So I guess maybe his team playing the record, but he just hit me up like, yo, bro, that song you just dropped, man, I love it. If you have plans of doing a remix, let me know. Yo me apunto. So él se apuntó para el remix. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have somebody like Ozuna telling you, like, I was not even thinking of a remix so short on, we was gonna
Mm-hmm.
let the song build. So I went back to Nicky and I'm like, yo, me tiró el hombre, me tiró Ozuna, me dijo that he likes the song and he would like to be part of the remix. And Nicky was like, ya está, lo hacemos nosotros tres, tú, yo y él. So, that it was nothing that we needed. Nicky Jam was always somebody that was a front runner to be on the remix. That was his record. He would advocate it more than me. Like a month before the song came out, I kid you not, there would be people, producers that would go work with Nicky, and he'll be showing them the records. I got this song coming out, but yo, who has a fire song? And back then, I was just, I was not really thinking about doing music or thinking
Mm-hmm.
about putting anything out, because I just had a lot of fixing to do with myself. I was still like just still getting mad at certain things. I just had to like really fix some issues that I had to fix, so then I could go and do music in a good state of mind, because I'm not gonna be able to do music that's talking about empowering and motivational music if I'm feeling salty inside and I'm being a hater and I got hate vibes and mad vibes. So Miami did work wonders for me. But anyways, when people would come and Nicky would play the music, he'd be like, yo, Messia has a hit. Yo, Messia, play that. So he would give me mad motivation. Like, that would make me feel so good. Like, yo, I got Nicky Jam vouching so hard for my record. So, I knew that. I asked him, like, yo, big bro, you trying to be on this remix when that time came. But I definitely want to thank Ozuna, because Ozuna pretty much, without him even knowing too, he put that remix together just for him saying, yo, bro, when you do the remix for that song, I'm
Mhm.
down. And he knows what he did. You know, he did that also to teach me a lesson. You know, in a moment where, you know, I was so hot that I let an Ozuna feature go by, and I had so much slack for. I got so much slack for that.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of just showed me, you know, like, look how life is. You know, look how now, you know, I'm willing to help you. You know, I'm willing to put any differences we had outside, and you know, but that's something my manager always told me. He was like, a hit record could change anything. You know,
Yeah.
once you have a hit record, it's undeniable, and people always appreciate, you know, letting your music speak for you than you going and venting or saying anything,
Mhm.
or any credit you feel is due to you. Just let the music speak, man. Just shut
Yeah.
up and let the music do the talking.
That's amazing. I think that's one of
Hmm.
like one of the, like I said, dopest remix to have Nicki and Ozuna on that track is
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
And I love
Thank
Nicki.
you, thank
He's
you.
next on my list for someone I want to interview so bad. Nicky Jam
Do it.
is next.
All right, I'm gonna make that happen. We're gonna
Yeah,
see.
let make tell him I want to interview so bad. He's like one of my favorite artists also. So I was happy to see all three of you guys
Oh,
collaborate. I do want to talk about your next single, Bahamas, which was just recently
mhm.
released. Tell me a little bit about that
Yes.
record and what inspired that.
Bahamas is one of my favorite records. I actually, this is one of the first records. That record, I did not write that record at all. I can't sit here and let you know that this song got motivated. Yeah, yo no tengo pelo en la lengua. You know, that was something before. I used to be very like, how can I say, like very you know, it took a lot for me to, oh, nobody could write my music, this and that. You know, I'm a rapper, but you know, one thing that I learned is it took all the songs that got me to this point. Estamos Lindo, Robinson Cano,
Yeah.
La Costumbre, Tu Protagonista. Those is all music that I pen, you know, completely. So I already let my pen speak for itself, you know. So if a big record gets presented to me, I'm not gonna let the opportunity slide just for having that, like, you know, like, ignorant mentality of saying, "Oh, if I didn't write that, I'm not gonna," you know. If it's a
Mhm.
great record, I'm a great interpreter. I'm a great artist. I'm a singer. You know what I'm saying? So that's another mentality that I've acquired being here in Miami. So this is a record written by Reggie El Autentico, who's an incredible composer and an artist as well, and it's produced by Playing Skills. And again, from the moment where I heard this song, this is the first song I can say that has been written for me 100%. You know, anytime I do like sessions now, like Millonario was co-written by Julian Turizo, but you know, I feel we did as much as he did, I did. It was like a
Mhm.
50-50 as far as the composition. And you know, I always want to feel a little bit, you know, that I had to do with the song. So I always want to maybe change this word, change that word. But Bahamas was just so perfect as is. From the moment that I heard it, it gave me goosebumps. Like there's this part, there's like this particular breakdown that every time I listen to it, it's just como que se me eriza la piel. And it still happens to this day. So, you know, Bahamas is just a song that I've always been waiting for the moment that Bahamas was finally released to the world, and people get to experience this vibe, this aura, porque se creó en una vibra tan bonita y significa muchísimo para mí. Es increíble, como te dije, una canción que yo no escribí, no fue una idea que salió de mí. Oh, vamos a escribir una canción que se
Mhm.
llame Bahamas. I was in this great writing camp that was done for me to find my next single, my next record. Y de ahí salió Bahamas, and salió Bahamas and amongst other great records. But yeah, that's the new single that we promoting now, Bahamas.
Mhm.
Vámonos pa Bahamas. Ay.
No, yeah, it's a great record. I really really liked it. How does it feel for you to be making this comeback? Because like you said, you've been through ups and downs as an artist. You were very very big in the beginning, then you had some lows, and you came back, and then now you're making your full comeback. How does it feel to be out there making music again, doing your music videos, collaborating with some of the biggest artists out right now? Um, what does that feel like for you in this moment?
It feels good because at least right now in this moment, I don't have to lie. I don't have to be or try to be somebody who I'm not. And I feel like a lot of people appreciate that. I've been in some of the greatest rooms, you know, any artist could be with wealthy people. And at first I thought, I need a rollie, or I need this, or I need this to feel like, you know, como que I match with these guys. And I feel just being that. would have brought a aura of me trying to fit in that probably would have not been received. How this, coño, mira cómo está Mesías y todo el mundo quiere trabajar conmigo. And genuinely too, people invite me to their cribs, invite me to their settings. It's just not like, I'm bumping into people because I'm in Miami and they're showing me love when they see me. Like people want me, so that actually means that, my energy or what I'm bringing along is just more than, okay, Messiah's doing good musically now. Okay, all right, Messiah, we'll work with you. We'll do a song with you. No, it's like, all right, now we could chill with you. And now we can invite you, to our after parties and to our sessions. So, just being that. And like I said earlier, man, I'm just trusting every part of the process. Como que yo no me le estoy yendo al tiempo. It's not like I'm expecting this, I'm expecting that. Because sometimes when you expect too much and you don't get it, humans tend to, and that's the monster I create, you tend to get mad and you want to say, oh man. So you know what? I'm just hoping for the best, and being appreciative, even of the little things, just so life could bring me bigger things so I could be appreciative about, and just taking every day a day at a time, and just just not taking anything for granted, and just having siguiendo con esta mentalidad. And
Mm-hmm.
if I get a number one, I'll be grateful. And if I don't get a number one, I'm gonna keep working. Just because I hear so many great artists who get into depression, just because of the number. And I was not one of, I will never say I thank God that I never really felt in a depression. I had a lot of frustration, a lot of anxiety. But even in the midst of that, I was still want to be in the studio. I was just being frustrated that the music that I was doing in the studio was not, being received, or was not clicking, or was not no se estaba pegando,
Mm-hmm.
or was not getting the numbers. But I was still going, work and try to put music. There's a time where tú llegas a un momento where it's like you don't even want to leave your house no more, ni quieres que la gente te vea. And eso le pasa a mucha gente, y le pasa a mucha gente because se sienten, insatisfechos if they don't get that number one, that they just, now the mentality I have, if I live off the music for the rest of my life, and I'll make a good living for something that I love and this is my passion, then not a day ever will feel like work. And I'll be good with that. No,
Mm-hmm.
no todo el artista es número uno, no todo el artista, y todavía hay muchos artistas que make millions of dollars every year of the music and live good, and take care of their family. And, and that's it. Eso es lo que a mí me sentiría conforme. Y si mañana tengo el número uno, then I'll appreciate it even more because, no lo estaba como deseando con ese, no sé. So, me siento bien como estoy ahora. Y creo que voy, because I think people should want this Messiah and not want the Messiah like it get very arrogant and could be like, yeah, let's be number one, because I kid you not, I waited for a long moment y ya he tenido varias oportunidades de como, yo digo como que nosotros los urbanos y más el dominicano, we love to have like an accomplishment to go and be like, hey, look, I'm number one. Hey, look, I'm number
Mm-hmm.
one in DR. Hey, look. And I still haven't done that one time, because I feel like I still haven't got to where I want to get. I feel like thankfully my songs are clicking. Estamos bien, estamos trabajando y hay que seguir trabajando.
Mm-hmm.
Esa es mi mentalidad. Y no quiero que se me meta none of that aura de, oh no, yo estoy pegado, or now I gotta charge an extra amount, or you gotta give me this. Nah, man, working. We're gonna get there. Wherever we need to get, we're gonna get there. God's timing is perfect. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, I wouldn't want it no other way right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And like I always say, if you find something that's your passion and you're good at it, just keep going and God will open the doors no matter what. So again, you are a living testament of that. Are we gonna get a remix to Bahamas?
100%.
Do you know with who yet?
100%.
Or do you
Yes,
have
but I don't want to say it. Yeah, I
okay.
have an idea. We have an idea of a potential, featuring X and X. So I
Okay,
don't
so
want
it's
to.
two.
We have, yes, it'll be two. So I have an idea of who I want for, but we also have an idea of who we also already gonna get. So yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I'm
yeah.
excited to see. I mean, you already linked up with
Thank you.
Ozuna Nicky Jam, so I'm really excited to see who this
Yes,
next two
yes.
features will be. I also want to briefly talk about like you mentioned, you were in this dark space not too long ago. Now you are out of it. You're doing so well. I do want to talk a little bit about your mental health during that time, and how you did your best to maintain like a good mental health, and what were some of the things that you did? Because I feel like in the Latin community we don't really talk about mental health like that, and although there's so many people struggling with their mental health, I think it'll be good for people to hear how you were able to get out of it and make sure that you were okay at the end of the day.
Well, to be honest with you, I could say the only thing that has helped me is just going to the gym and working out. Because when I was in New York, I was doing nothing to improve, not just my mental health, just to improve my state of being, my well-being at all. You know, I was just, again, just in a frustration, just in such a dark place that anything you told me would just, would just make it more. And people tell you, oh, you go to anger management and go to this, but come to see that I didn't need no anger management. I remember the last time my manager, like I have a great relationship with my manager, my sister. People actually tell me that they're proud of me. Like I wasn't hearing those words. And that just came with, me changing my lifestyle, me changing, not trying to get mad at everything. Yo no puedo tapar el sol con un dedo. There's certain things that are not under my control. I can't stop the traffic. I don't remember the last time I had a road rage in New York. I remember I would chase people down, like, yo, pull over your car. What? Just because they'll say you at a red light or something. Oh yeah, F me, F you. Like just dumb things. Like, nadie quiere vivir así. So,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes again, I don't know what people are going through. I can't suggest everybody moves to Miami. Obviously there's people who need help and just have to go get help. And if you're one of those, definitely do that. It's good to get a diagnosis or for somebody to tell you what you have. Um, but yeah, I guess me, como te puedo decir, aquí yo me levanto. Sometimes people is like, bro, I feel like you're a little too jolly here in Miami. Yo me levanto en la mañana like I want to take over the world, but I don't know if si eso es el gimnasio. It's like over here, I have like an intensive like routine. Like I go to the gym in the mornings and in the evening I go play basketball with the guys for like 3 hours. And like I sweat there more than like I would sweat in any gym doing any cardio, and I burn a lot of calories. So no sé si eso me ayuda. Yo sé que el gimnasio es bueno for stress,
Mm-hmm.
for anxiety. So no sé si I just go and I sweat it all out every day. The sun too, that vitamin D recharging. I feel like that also helps me a lot over here. So again, it just I feel like yo no he tenido que buscar terapia, ni he tenido que, y si la hubiera tenido que hacer, si me hubiera recomendado, si Nicky ya me hubiera dicho, yo, mira, este es un terapeuta que me ha ayudado, you need to go, pero como te dije, gracias a Dios, I feel like whatever I was going through in New York, it was just in the aura and the energy que yo me encontraba. I guess I was just reaping what I was sowing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and over here, I guess since I'm just, in just a positive, let me charge my phone because it's about to turn off. Since I'm just in a positive environment, since I'm just working out, since I'm just giving thanks to God, since my relationship with God has gotten better, now I'm like, yo, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. I'm sorry if I was ever, si fui ¿cómo te digo? Eh, Si nunca te di la gracia, mal agradecido es la palabra que estaba buscando. Si fui mal agradecido, I apologize, and also I feel like I get a lot of tests just to see how it's like God to be like, yo, look, I got another blessing for you, but I'm gonna give you this little turbulence right here to see if you're gonna go back to, yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the hell? And I honestly, look, I kid you not, my record, it got pushed back like 3 times. It got pushed back because of the weather. Then it got pushed back because of the timing. Then it got pushed back because of the every single time. I wouldn't care if it would have been God back then. I would have been cursing God. Yo, what the fuck, maldita sea, Dios mío, que esto con lo otro. Would have been
Mm-hmm.
slamming my phone, and I guess things like that will be like, God is testing you for the next thing to come. And you're like, yo, look, now you fuck, look, now another 3 months of just sorrow and misery. Y jódete, mal agradecido. So, just me having the mentality like, oh, you know what, everything happens for a reason. That even my team and like my manager, like, yo, are you good? Because the Omesia would have been catching a flip. The Omesia would have been like, yo, bro, I'm sorry. Let me call you back, bro. Yo, chill. So just, the way I take things, I guess I could get to really, count my blessings. I get to see them. They're all out there for me. to appreciate it. So
Mhm.
just that's the only thing I can say.
Awesome. So the way I wrap up my interviews is I play a fun little
Uh-huh.
rapid fire segment called Five Questions
Okay.
Nobody Ever Asks. So I'm going to ask you
All
five
right.
rapid fire questions and you have to answer them like quickly, okay?
Rapid. All right.
Rapid.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
First question is, who is the most famous contact in your phone?
The most famous contact in my phone, damn, I would say Cardi B.
That's big. Cardi B's big. And
Mm-hmm.
you guys had that record
Mm-hmm.
together on that remix. So, okay.
Yes.
Number two
Cardi.
is, who is your dream collab? Female and male.
My dream collab. And I would say female would be Rihanna.
Oh, I love Rihanna. Good one.
And male I would have to say would be, damn it. You know, this is just far fetched, but hey, our dream is Jay-Z. That'd be like,
Jay-Z.
wow, iconic for me. Yeah. Or Jay-Z or Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee. Hey, listen, speaking into
Yeah.
existence. I always tell people speaking
Yeah.
into existence. I can see a Daddy record too and Jay-Z. So
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
dope.
For sure.
Question
For
number
sure.
three is, what is your favorite spot to eat at in New York City?
My favorite spot to eat in New York City. Oh man, Flor de Mayo.
I love Flor de Mayo. That is the
So
best.
you
I
know what
always
I'm talking.
tell
So
everybody about to go to
okay,
that spot.
all right, all right. I thought you was gonna. Oh, what kind of cuisine is that?
No,
Well,
I love Flor de
it's
Mayo.
okay. All right, Flor de Mayo is it.
Last year I went to New York for Christmas and I literally on Christmas Day I was like, I'm going to Florida.
You know, and you know that there's two of them, right?
I went to the one in Harlem.
Okay, yeah, because there's one in 84th Street and there's one in 110th. So you
Yeah,
went to
I
the one in 110th.
110th. Question number 4. What song is on heavy rotation for you right now?
I have a couple of songs. Right now on heavy rotation, tengo Fiel de Jay Cortez y Wisin. Tengo la de J Balvin con María Becerra, que más pues, I love that record. Also, Mírenme Ahora de Mike Tower. Mírenme Ahora, esa canción me da mucha nota. So I would say those three on heavy rotation for me.
Awesome. And question number 5 is, who is your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush, that's a good one. Man, my all-time favorite is my forever celebrity crush is J-Lo. So definitely J-Lo. J-Lo como el vino. J-Lo just gets better with time. So, you know, definitely J-Lo.
That's right. J-Lo
With
is
all due respect to Ben, you know, but
J-Lo is timeless. I
but
agree.
J-Lo.
Awesome. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much, Messia, for virtually stopping by Mega Atlanta Radio. Tell everyone where they can find you and what you have going on right now.
Yes, for sure. You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Messiah Graham. Messiah and Graham like Instagram. Se pronuncia Messia, pero se escribe Messiah. And right now we have Bahamas. This is my new single, produced by Playing Skills. And yeah, definitely be on the lookout for a lot of new music. Yo, que lo que mi gente, es your boy Messia. Y ustedes están aquí en sintonía with the only Kayla. Y ustedes saben que están con la gente dura, la Mega Atlanta. Ay.